Assalamualaikum to Mr. Fahan. I have just watched the video on the type of art, so I would like to answer the second part of the second project of CEL2102. The first question is, do you think that this type of art has a message, or is it merely a work of art? Explain your view. In my opinion, I think that this type of art, the inflatable sculpture, actually has a message it wants to convey. I think that the artist shows us that we can turn something into an art just by using anything that is around us. We don't need anything that is costly or expensive. We can just take anything around us and turn it into an art with only using our imagination and also our creativity. In the video, Joshua, the artist, has made inflatable sculptures only by using trash bags and used shopping bags that can be found on the streets. And to inflate these sculptures, Joshua has used the subway air and the exhaust air coming from the subway tunnel. And from this, I think all of us can learn something very important, which is that who would have thought that the subway air, the byproduct of the subway coming from the tunnel, actually has a use? And who would have thought that the artist can actually think on how to utilize the byproduct of the subway to create something amazing? And let's face reality here that without the presence of air, the inflatable sculptures won't inflate and it would only stay flat on the ground, and the art won't capture anyone's heart. Anyone's crossing the road, no one would understand the meaning of the art if it just stays flat on the ground. So here's what I think. I think that the message this art trying to convey is that regardless of how small you are, you actually contribute something to the community. Well, in terms of what I'm trying to relate is that in terms of our everyday life, even if how small you are, even how low your position are, actually you are still contributing something to the community. It's just that people need to understand one another so that we won't look down on each other and understand that the importance of having us taking care of one another. So yeah, it is a little bit indirect, but I think there is actually a link to it that we can learn. So that is what I think about the message this type of art trying to convey. The second question is, in your opinion, what inspires the artist to create such artwork? So in my opinion, I think that besides his pure talent and also his experience in art field, he is actually inspired by his own concern towards on our behavior towards Mother Nature. Because I was thinking maybe one day he was walking by the road and saw a lot of trash on the road, especially trash bags which are non-biodegradable. So I think that by making this type of art, inflatable sculptures using these trash bags, actually is he's actually showing us one of the ways for us to curb this problem from increasing from day to day. Because it is a problem that it is already a problem for us to actually be throwing trash bags on the road and not into the dustbin. So I think that is what truly inspires the artist to create such an artwork. The last question is, what other artworks that we can create using everyday objects, and describe 2 examples. So here's the first one. When I was a kid, I always dreamed of going to a camp, but I didn't really get the chance to do it. So what I did is that at night, I have like 10 pillows, so I arranged all the pillows in order and I stacked them into a pile and make it into a 1 meter height. And then I take my comforter and put it on the pillows, and then it became like a small tent. Yeah, and of course it's just a simple type of art, and I used my imagination for that. I was like 5 years old, but to me it was like the greatest thing I've ever done at that rate. So yeah, that is one of the things that we can actually do. Even as an adult, we can actually do it, but with more imagination, of course. Secondly, we can use used wires to make any type of sculptures like bird nests, and we can bend the wires into any shapes we want, like animal shapes like cats, dogs, and so on. So I guess that is all from me. Thank you very much.